Hey guys, so I'm nearly done covering the notes. So sorry I had to let my computer catch up and unfreeze. So in that first video, I pretty much covered all of this. Um, why is the GDP important? As I kind of already mentioned, it is overall like the easiest way to explain it is it's our wealth as a country. In my notes, I have three ideas listed. This measures the total output or productivity of our workers. If our workers are working hard, GDP goes up. If they're making money, it goes up. Secondly, it represents our income, as I kind of already said. And then thirdly, it shows the growth of the factors of production or the resources needed by businesses. If businesses are doing well, they make money, the GDP goes up. So, generally speaking, if the economy is strong, our gross domestic product is going to improve and increase. Now, for the most part, this is not an easy thing. Um, the bigger the country, the harder it is to measure this because it's not like the government goes around, knocks on our doors, and says, "Hey, how much money do you have in your bank account?" So this is difficult, and there are a number of factors that go into this. For the most part, what goes into the GDP, there are four things that are listed in the notes here. Consumer spending on American-made goods and services, on American-made. If you buy an iPhone, so if you go out, you buy yourself a brand new iPhone for $1,000. That iPhone is not made in America; it's made in China. That money just left America. So if you're buying American-made goods and services, if you get onto Fox's and buy a pizza, that money stays in the economy, and that is going to benefit our GDP. Secondly, government spending on goods and services. So if the government buys a bunch of stuff, like if they build a warship, if they build a new building in Washington, D.C., if they build a road, like if they just buy stuff, um, that's going to help our GDP. Third, business investment and growth. If businesses are investing money, if they're growing, that's going to help the GDP. And if they die, like for instance, let's say, God forbid, I don't want this to happen. Let's say the glass plant here in Port Allegheny goes out of business. That's going to hurt Port Allegheny's GDP and it's going to hurt America's GDP. And then lastly, the amount of money we make in exports. Exports are goods that we sell to foreign countries. So if we sell stuff to Mexico, Canada, China, like an American farmer sells corn to the Canadian government, that's that's money that comes back into our economy. And generally speaking, there are two things that are going to hurt our GDP, or money is going to leave our GDP. The first is imports. I already mentioned you buy an iPhone, you're going to see money leave the American economy. That's money that's going to benefit the Chinese economy. That creates what's known as a trade deficit. And one of the things Donald Trump, as president of the United States, has really focused a ton of attention on is that trade deficit. He has argued time and time again that other countries should be buying more of our stuff and we should be buying less of their stuff. It's a huge argument, and can't really talk about it in just a couple of minutes here. If you were to buy only American made phones, your $1,000 iPhone is going to become $10,000 because American workers make so much more money than Chinese workers. Imagine what your cell phone would be worth if you had to pay an American worker to make that product. Chinese workers make considerably less money. If you buy a pair of blue jeans that are made in Vietnam, but they get shipped over to America and they're made here instead, you're going to be paying instead of $50 for a pair of blue jeans, you're going to be paying $200. So the whole idea of buying American is not always necessarily the best thing. And then lastly, I know one of those enrichment activities I posted talked about like what the black market is. Black market is pretty much anything that is bought or sold under the table, um, with the like really dark things like drugs and um, prostitution. That's all the black market as well. But the black market is also if a babysitter makes money and she's not going to report that money to the government. So if a random 17-year-old teenage girl from Port Allegheny babysits 20 hours a week and she makes $100 in a week, that's money that just, as far as the government is concerned, disappears, doesn't exist anymore. That's the black market. Or if somebody's mowing yards, or if they are selling video games on to their friends, that's money that again just sort of disappears. So the black market, while it could be shady and illegal and horribly immoral, like if you're selling your organs on the internet, or you're getting into organized crime and like doing illegal things, that's bad. But the black market is also a bunch of kids that are shoveling sidewalks or mowing yards or babysitting. And we have millions of Americans who deal in the black market. So the black market isn't necessarily always this terrible, terrible, terrible thing. So that's it for this portion of the notes. Real quick, I'm going to post along with these videos a short Google form quiz. Use my notes, use these videos, use the interwebs. I don't care what you use. Take the quiz. You are going to be graded on correctness. So if you rush through and you don't do well, you could very well lose some points. So see you later.